Well, hello everybody. Welcome to day 2 of Cityscape. So today we're going to work on our step that involves coloring in our buildings. Now, we're not going to color any of the windows yet, but what we are going to do is we're going to color every section a different color, and that's going to involve value. Now, value is something that's really fun. So you can take absolutely any color. So I'm going to take my red. And it involves me drawing as hard as I can with that color to make the darkest value. Then I start pulling away pressure, and then slowly I make the lightest value I can make. So it's the lightest red all the way to the darkest. So this is what it would look like. You could practice with me on your color wheel. My darkest value, I'm pushing down really hard. It kind of hurts my hand. And then I start pulling back, pulling back, pulling back, pulling back. And then it kind of disappears. And that is called a value change. So I've got the same color, but it's different shades, it's a different value. So when we intersected all these lines together and we created all these new spaces, that's going to affect the way we color in our drawing. So right here, my big building is right here, but as I travel up, it bumps into this line, so it moves my shape out here and over. So that unique shape is going to be what I'm going to color in red. So everyone could pick up their first color. We're going to start at the building all the way to the left. And what I want you to do is I want you to outline that building in the color that you want to color it in. Now when I get to a window, I'm going to jump over it. I'm going to jump over the window. Go down to the bottom. Alright, so that is my first space. I'm going to color that in red. Now when I color it in, I'm going to go around the windows. If it helps you to outline the windows, that's fantastic. And if you don't need to, you don't have to because you're the artist. You can do what you want. But what's really important is I'm going to change my value while I'm doing it. So in one area, it's going to be super dark. In one area, it's going to be very light value. I can make it look like bricks. I could make it just look like a wave. Here are some examples of what it can look like. Right there. All right, so I'm going to do kind of random. Okay? So I'm going to start in this corner and I'm going to hatch, which means I go back and forth like that. Back and forth. And when I get to a window, I'm going to go around it. Oh, I got a little on a window. That's totally fine. I'm not going to let that ruin my day. I'm going to keep hatching. And this is all pretty much the same value right now. And now I'm going to start, when I get to this point, start making it a lighter value. Now dark values I think are the easiest because pushing down really hard, I mean, I think we all know how to do that really well. But controlling our hand and pulling the pressure back, that can be really challenging. It doesn't hurt our hand as much, but it takes more control. Okay, so here I go. All right, now I'm going to start pulling back. I'm going to go lighter. Remember to go around your windows. Go lighter. Pretty light down here. And now if I want to, I can start going darker again. All right, now once you cover that entire space or that entire part of the building in one value, and one color with multiple values, then I want you to go ahead and edit, because just because you colored it doesn't mean that it's good enough for us, the artists. So I can say, yes, technically I colored it in, but I've got holes, I've got white spaces, I've got some that has absolutely no value. So now I'm going to go in and I'm going to do my editing lines. Maybe I'm going to make it really dark value up here now. Now, one of my favorite things to do with crayons is my 2-color rule. I really like 3 colors on top of every crayon line, but let's do this one with a 2-color rule. So I've got my 1 red. I'm going to put that off to the side. Now I'm going to get another type of red. So I can get my red violet. I could get a magenta. I could even get a pink. Pink is a very, 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 very light red. It's when red is combined with white. You get pink. So I'm going to take this, and I'm going to put this on top as my 2nd color. It's going to help make my darks a little more vibrant. It's going to fill in some of those holes. And I'm only going to do it on the areas where I'm trying to make a dark value, because my light value, I want it to stay light. Woo! It hurts my hand to do that dark value. I'm going to shake it. Okay, now we're going to move on to another section. Now, you can go to any building that you want. Maybe even go to the buildings that you can definitely see if you've lost them a little bit, and you can pick up any other color. So I'm going to have a very, I was going to say a very different color, but maybe I'm going to go to orange because it's the same building, yet it's a little different. So I'm going to pick up an orange crayon. That just broke. And I'm going to outline this next section. So it's not this whole building. It's just this little section where these lines intersect. I have to try to see past the windows. So here I go. I'm going to outline. I'm going to jump around my windows. Jump, 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 jump. I can even outline my windows if that helps me see the space a little better. All right, now that I have that space outlined, I'm going to add value to it using orange. So dark value, medium value, light value. So let's do it. I'm maybe going to do lines. So I'm immediately going to put my dark value in by doing these straight lines. As parallel as I can make them. I'm going to make them nice and dark and thick. The value that's dark always hurts my hands. Give your hand a shake. And then you're going to add in the light value. Maybe this one will be a medium and I can create a pattern. So medium, light, medium, light, medium, light, medium, light, medium, and light. And now I'm going to pick up another shade of orange, maybe my light orange. This is more of a yellow orange. And I'm going to put that on top of my medium value. It's kind of turning it into a dark value, so I have to be careful not to push down too hard. And now I'm going to do it so, so lightly. Control my hand, pull it back, and create that light value in there. All right, so now I have 2 sections colored in. Do you understand how we're doing it? I hope you do. Let's keep going together. So now I'm going to do purple. Purple is not next to orange on the color wheel. It's a jump around, but I love purple, and that's what I feel like doing, so I'm going to do what I want. So I'm going to take my purple crayon, and I'm going to outline this shape in the middle. Jump around the windows, jump, jump, jump. Oh, that kind of goes in. Oh, there's a hidden shape right in there. That's just going to be one color, no windows. Jump. And guess what? If you accidentally go outside your space and you do a double space, the same color, you are the artist. It's totally okay. Don't let anything ruin your artwork. And no matter what, do not put a big X on top of your artwork because that's all we'll be able to see. Whatever happens, we can make it work, okay? All right, so now I'm going to add value. This time I'm going to do the coil lines. So the coil line is when you wrap it around and around and around. You're spiraling around. You can go back and forth. There's no order in it except for it's not a scribble. It's not a scribble because we're controlling where it goes. If this was a scribble, it would be everywhere. A coil is controlled. now I'm going to go to a lighter value. And a lighter value. Until I have my coil line almost disappear. And I'm going to get my second purple, maybe even my magenta purple. And here I go. And I hope you see, as soon as you add a second layer of a crayon on top of the old one, or the original one, it just starts making it look so much more interesting, and that's why I'm such a fan of it. And you go lighter, pull your hand back, control your hand, don't let it go hard. You're turning it into that beautiful whisper line, and that's it. All right, now I'm going to move on. I have two sections really near each other, and I've got two actually that are just little triangles. I'm going to have them be the same one. I'm going to do green. And because it's such a small space, I don't have to outline it. There are no windows to jump around. So I'm going to do those together. And now maybe I'm going to take this same green and I'm going to have a third spot for it. And I'm going to do this tall building in green. So here I have my green. I'm going to outline the space. As soon as another line starts intersecting with the building, I'm going to stop. And that's the limit of my shape for that color. I'm going to make this a very light value, and maybe I'll put in some brick lines. So this looks like a really tall brick building far, far away. Before I add my brick lines, I'm going to add a second green. Now this green is much darker. This is more of a lime green, so I want to make sure that I don't push down too hard. It's going to change all of it. But if you want to change all of it, I think that's wonderful. Change all of it. All right. Very, very lightly, like a whisper. I love doing those coil lines. All right, now that I have my second layer, I'm going to start adding some brick lines with my darker green. So here I go. I'm going to do a couple dashes. Dash, 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 dash. And suddenly I have a value change. In my distance. All right, now I'm going to do this one, or I don't even know which one I'm going to do. Oh, I'm going to do that one. I'm going to do blue. All right, here I am with blue. I'm going to outline. Jump around my windows. I'm going to outline my windows maybe. And I'm going to do some diagonal lines. Diagonal and parallel. I don't even know I was going to cross it over, but that was kind of fun. Now I'm going to fill it in with a really light value. And this is just hatching, going back and forth. Control your hand and stay inside that space. And I'm going to take my turquoise. I'm going to add it very lightly on top, just to give that color a little more interest. Okay, let's keep going. I might have hit all the colors. Let's see. Oh, I haven't had a yellow building. I'm going to do a yellow one. Okay. No, I'm going to do a yellow building over here because this is very light and it has a lot of yellow in that green. So I'm going to do it over here. I'm going to outline. And if you mess up and you accidentally outline in your sky, I don't want you to be nervous. Don't panic. Don't put an X on it. Take a deep breath. And tell yourself it's going to be okay. Nothing is going to ruin our artwork. We got this. All right, here we go. We're going to outline it. And I'm going to do large coils. Go around my window. I really wish I had that pretty mustard yellow and I don't have it. So I have to use what I have. That's basically all the same value. I didn't really do a value change. Guess what? That's okay. I'm the artist. I can do what I want. All right, now let's move on to the next section. I love blue. I'm going to do another blue section right here. I'm going to try not to do the same color right next to it itself, unless you chose to do that, and then you should do it. I'm going to try to make a little skip and a jump. Actually, there's a little triangle down here I'm going to do. And then my next skip and a jump is down here. So I'm going to outline around my windows. And then I'm going to do maybe some big circles. Bubbles are one of my favorite things in the whole world. I love bubbles. So anything that reminds me of a bubble I like to do. And then very light valued color. And we're almost done. So I'm hatching, and I can see a lot of these lines, so now I'm going to choose to crosshatch. And really fill in that space nicely. I think this looks pretty fantastic. That is my phone. Okay. Sorry about that, guys. Alright, now I'm going to do another orange. I like the orange right here. This big window really cuts through that whole building. So I can just do orange here, or I can choose to bring it all the way through, and I'm going to bring it all the way through. And I'm going to do long vertical lines this time. And I'm actually going to take yellow, and I'm going to put yellow on top. Oh, I'm sorry, guys. I moved the camera. I'm going to put yellow on top. And that's going to turn this into more of a yellow-orange. Okay, now we've got 2 more sections to do. I think we're doing fantastic. Okay. So now I'm going to do red again. I love red, and I'm going to do this section right here, red. Kind of looks like a triangle. Well, it is a triangle, actually. And I'm going to color it in. I'm going to do a really dark value down at the bottom. And then I'm going to go light, 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 light. And we're on our final one. You know what? For this one, I'm going to do green. I'm going to do dark green. I'm going to do it a little opposite. I'm going to outline it in green. Go around my windows. Jump. Ah, see, look what happened. It's right next to another green. So it's not really what I intended. It's okay. We're going to make it work. And they are 2 different greens, so I actually think that's kind of cool anyway. Now I'm going to flip it. So my red was dark at the bottom. Now I'm going to make my green dark at the top. I'm going to go dark, 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 dark. I'm going to go lighter. Lighter. And lighter. All right, and then the buildings are finished. How are we doing? This was a really big step today. So I think we're actually going to stop here, and tomorrow we will do the windows because we don't want to do too much in one day. So I hope you had fun doing this. Don't do the sky yet. Take your time, and we're going to have a great time together tomorrow. I'll see you then. Bye, guys.